Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Vinland Saga Season 1, Episode 15. Last time, we had a rough one. That one pushed my enjoyment for our characters. Like, it was rough, because don't get me wrong, I know they couldn't keep them alive because they couldn't feed them, and they would have had to starve, which is a worse than death, so killing them was, like, the only option. But just the fact that they had to raid their village in the first place, just because that's just what they do, and I've known they've done it, and we've seen them do it before, but we actually got to see these families, we got to see them, begging for their lives, and, the kids and the women and all that. It's just, it was a hard one to watch, and I felt bad for Anne, but then she also has her little thing where, her development has, like, confused me a little bit, because she stole the ring, and then she felt guilty that she stole the ring, but then she sees these people come in and kill her whole family, and she said she felt elated. And I was like, okay, maybe she feels elated. I talked about a lot of this in the discussion of last episode, but maybe she feels elated because, like, oh, like, stealing a ring is nothing in comparison to what these guys do, right? So, like, in terms of sinners, she's nothing, so it doesn't really matter, right? I thought that's why she felt elated. But no, she said, like, it was almost like she envied, like, people that were capable of doing, like, defying God and going against everything that he stands for and all that. She seemed like she was, like, more infatuated with that, which was interesting. But early on in that episode, we also had the more conversations about love with the priests and the Vikings. And there was one story brought up about Thor's, and the priest got really interested in it. And I wonder if there's, like, is there any kind of connection with, like, the priest and Thor's, or why was he so interested? Will we ever come back to that? Or is it something that, like, maybe it just has to do with his religion and his beliefs, and that's why he got so interested in him? I don't know. But, yeah, let's start the episode and find out what happens next. We're going to start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Alright, Wit Studio. Let's do this. The king? Excuse me? Okay. Seemed like he had other kids, didn't he? We had the name Harold before, right? I thought Harold was the... Who was Harold? I have it written down, right? Harold, King of Norway. Interesting. Because he's the King of Denmark, right? King Sweyn of Denmark. There's no way one of his kids is King of Norway, is it? But I have from the beginning of this show... What episode was that? That was episode 1, Harold, King of Norway. Unless I wrote something down wrong. Interesting. That'd be kind of crazy if, like, he was king of Norway, I mean, king of Denmark, and then his son was, um, king of Norway, and now he's trying to seem like he might be trying to set up Canute to be the king of England or something after they win this war. All right. Thorkel. I'd know those missing fingers anywhere. Oh no. No. Both. Oh, they're doing well. He was trying to talk. Damn. I never want to stop fighting. Uh-oh. Hmm. Damn. Wow. Oh, well, let me tell you about the future, Thorkel. You're not wrong in your wish. Or, I shouldn't say not, well, it comes to pass, I should say. Mendokse. Oh shit. Canute speaks out, doubting his own faith. Seems like he's getting a little bit more brazen, the prince. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. Like, giving him this information, hoping they leave. Oh, she made it there? Anne made it there. Oh, this is exactly why Askeladd said they all had to die, because if one got away. Alright. Give us more of your food. 500 men for 5 days. It's so much. Ugh. Just make it last as long as possible. Alright. They're making sleds. Alright. Ooh. What'd you discuss? They don't know Thorkell's coming. Wow. Don't sow the seeds of doubt, man. What are you doing? Asking a lot of questions there, Ragnar. He's such a dad, such a caretaker. Is he cooking? Nice. He's like, I haven't eaten like this in a while. He's, I mean, he probably had like decent meals when he was younger, right? With his family, but hmm. Jeez. Well, come on, man. Who cares if he likes cooking? It was a different time. Oh, damn. Alright. Alright. Ragnar's gonna blow a blood vessel. Uh-oh. Did they... Are they not with Askeladd's group? Oh, shit! No, Ragnar! Damn. Tricky bastards. Oh. Really? So no, it's not. I thought maybe it was like somehow people from England pretending that they somehow knew that he wasn't like didn't know everyone in his group and stuff. But no, Askeladd ordered this, huh? Hmm. So why Askeladd? Why? I mean, he does question everything that Askeladd does, so. Hmm. Huh. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Alright, so there's a bit of a power struggle. Oh. Wow, so he picked Harold. He was trying to get Canute killed. Damn. Wow. Kind of makes sense, but. Well, damn. Okay. Yeah. Can't have you telling him what I did. Damn. Rest in peace, Ragnar. You weren't my favorite character, but He was more like a. I mean, the reason was. I mean, he was just. Maybe he was a warrior at one time, but his main focus was taking care of Canute, so. And that's what he did. You know, he got angry whenever they got into situations that risked Canute's life. There was nothing really wrong with Ragnar. It's just when he's amongst all these other badass warriors that don't fear death, and we have a man who feels more like a coward and always wants to run, you know, it just makes you like them a little bit less, even though what he did is noble in its own way, right? But, man, alright. Ragnar killed by Askeladd. I mean, I know I questioned why at first, but I know it makes sense. He's been in the way of Askeladd's plans, trying to stop him from doing what he wants to do this whole time, so it makes sense. And he wants to take over as, you know, the main source of care for Canute and everything, because he wants that source of power, but now he learned that it's not a source of power anymore, right? He took on a burden in that Ragnar was trying to protect the prince from the king. So, I wonder what Ragnar is going to do next, now that Canute is more of a burden. Will he try to get rid of him, or will he try to do something to Harold, so that way Canute gets kingship? I don't know. That is it, guys, for episode 15. But yeah, very, very interesting. So, Anne made it to Thorkel, and they found out where, or at least, might not have made it, I don't know if he made it to that, if she made it to that exact village, but at least got the word out and word spread to them that that's where Askeladd is. So obviously they headed there and all that, so crazy stuff. We learned about that power struggle with well, we learned about two power struggles, right? Like, it seems like England is close to surrendering, if that is true, right? Who knows if it's true? It could be some kind of bait or something like that, but it seems like England is pretty close to surrendering, and Thorkel's all mad because he doesn't want the wars to end and stuff like that. So I wonder what's going to happen with that. I guess I said nobility would rather give up the throne than lose their power, right? Or I guess, like, lose their status, I should say, not power, because they are giving up their power to maintain their status, kind of thing. But yeah, so that's certainly interesting. And then the other power struggle we have is, like I've already said, between Harold and Canute, which is, it's interesting. There's a faction that wants Canute to be the leader, and then there's a faction that wants Harold. And I guess the king made his choice of picking Harold, which, I mean, to be honest, from just the little silhouettes of Harold we saw, he looks much more commanding and kingly, in my opinion, than Canute. Like, don't get me wrong, Canute seems like a good kid. He seems like he could be a wise leader, but with the type of people he's leading, he needs to show strength too, not just brains. So, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, they might have a little bit of like Civil War stuff going on now too, right? With those two factions. I guess we'll see. It really depends on what Askeladd plans to do, because, I mean, unless Askeladd can get in touch with the faction that supports Canute and get like more of an army because of that. But the king's plan was to take Canute into battle and have him die, which I guess that explains why when they were at what was that? What'd they call that? London, right? I think is what they called it. When they were at London, the king just left Canute there with like X amount of men. I can't remember the exact number, but it wasn't enough to take London. Like, it was basically a suicide mission is what they said at the time. And I was like, oh, maybe the king knows something we don't, right? Like, that seems like a weird plan, but okay. But he just was sacrificing those men and Canute because that was his plan. So, damn, okay. Getting some intrigue in this war. But yeah, with Askeladd ordering Ragnar's death, I mean, I didn't see it coming. I mean, they lured him out there and killed him, and even after he was stabbed, I was like, oh no, these guys were Englishmen pretending to be Norsemen or whatever, Like I was so convinced that it wasn't like, oh no, Askeladd wouldn't do that, but no, he did. The guy was just getting in his way, so he's like, all right, take him out. Damn. Oh, this show gets me every time. We also had that small segment with the priest doubting his faith, and Canute kind of lashing back. Seems to be very devout. Now, I knew he was his teacher in some of the stuff like that, but I didn't realize they that Canute fully practiced that faith, right? It's really interesting that. So I wonder if that means the king practiced that faith too. It's just really interesting because I would assume that. I mean, I know the Vikings are different than the soldiers, right? Like the soldiers of Denmark, and then there's the Vikings, which are more like the pirates and stuff. The Vikings believe in the Valhalla and all that, right? But I don't know if the rest of the people of Denmark do. I'm starting to get the vibe that maybe some of those soldiers and stuff like that are Christians and stuff like that. I just thought they all believed in Valhalla and that faith and everything that Askeladd and the others believe in. But it's interesting having their king, their leader, have a different religion when religion is such a big defining characteristic. So of that time anyway, But I'm sure there's a bit of history there and things that I'm not understanding too. I'm not the best with this probably isn't the best show for me because I'm just not all this history stuff. At one time I knew some of it, but I'm just so long out of school that I just don't remember anymore, and it kind of stinks. So there's a lot of little aspects of the story that I'm just not akin to because I just don't know the state of affairs in the world. And I know they try to tell you and try to keep you up to speed, but there's a lot of little minute things where if you were a little bit more informed as to the religious standings and stuff like that of these different people at that time period and everything, you might be able to relate and come up with some better theories that I'm just not thinking of or not understanding fully. But I mean, I think that that's only a small portion of it. I am enjoying the show and the characters and watching their journey and everything, and I think that's the main thing I'm getting behind. Whether it's historically accurate, I don't know because I just don't know the history, and whether I just can't come up with any theories based off the history knowledge that I should know, but I don't. Anyway, yeah. It was a pretty good episode. I liked having Thorfinn having a home cooked meal. Now I don't even know if they had that good of meals when he was back at his, because they were in a snowy area, right? Where, or at least I don't know what the summer was like, but I don't know if it was always wintry there. Some of the stuff we saw them eating was little bricks, I think, of some kind of food. But I feel like we might have seen a soup on the over the fire or something before, but it's been so long for him, right? Since he left home, and he's been we saw him at the start scrounging around for, just getting a little bit of whatever is left on the bones, and then learning how to hunt and stuff himself, and then he's just eating meat that's cooked over a fire and all that, and to have a properly cut and gutted and and all that put into a soup with vegetables and broth and everything. It was cool seeing him have that, and I wonder if will it affect him at all? Could he want to learn to cook a little bit so he can give himself some better meals, or is he just gonna take what he got here and just be happy with it, and when he's not with Canute just go back to what he was normally doing? I don't know. I just wonder if this will impact his character at all going forward. But it was nice to see. So anyway, yeah, I think that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. I did. It was a great episode. Check out my Patreon if you want to see 2 more episodes ahead of time. You can do so through the early access tier on there. Links in the description should be showing up on the screen as well. And I'll see you guys in my future reactions. Bye-bye.